Okay, I'm getting ready to get rid of that drill press that's over in the corner. It's a 12-inch Ryobi drill press I got from Harbor Freight back in 2006, but it's got a very interesting story. The uh, the drill press was bought to help me make my business at the time of building underwater video camera housings and selling them on the internet, even though I didn't know how to swim and had never been diving before. Let me start from the beginning. I worked chemistry manufacturing for 17 years. The company got bought out by Bain Capital. 2,000 people lost their jobs. Then I started doing whatever I could because who wants to hire somebody middle aged? The only skills I had was working on ships, short order cook, which I didn't like, and working chemistry manufacturing for 17 years, which was not too many people were hiring that skill set. So someone told me about eBay, so I started selling eBay. Then I started importing, became an importer exporter.
He's an importer exporter.
And that was okay, but two people told me independently of each other, different times, different places, that eventually you don't get your last shipment. So I said, word to the wise. I got out of it importing, exporting. I started making my own products. And then one of them was going to be underwater video camera housings because I spent a lot of my time in my youth fascinated by the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau. Seriously, submarines, underwater cameras, and so on. It was always fascinating to me, even though I could barely swim, barely swim. When I swim in the pool, people ask me if I need help. They think I'm drowning. I had a parrot land on top of my head one time while I was swimming. Evidently, I don't look like I'm swimming when I'm swimming. I look like someone who's dog paddling, but it lost one of his paddles. But I digress. We're we're trying to make money. We're trying to make a living because my bank account is getting less and less. And now I'm deciding I'm going to make in my apartment underwater camera housing to sell because at the time video cameras were large. This was before GoPro and all the digital cameras, the sport cameras. So I said, let me make them out of 6-inch Schedule 80 diameter water pipe. I happened to get a hold of a small piece of pipe that had a groove. I made a prototype, and at the time I had been importing fly fishing equipment from India, and I knew people there, so I asked them if they would like to get involved making the product. They said sure. So I sent them the prototype, and then began a long dance of disappointment. It took months to get shipments, and they were terrible, and I had to fix them. Eventually, I realized I'm having to repair half the things I'm getting from India. Why don't I just make them myself? So I started making. But the problem was I didn't know how to make the groove that was in the end of the housing, the pipe, because it's only about a half an inch thick, and you have to put it like an eighth of an inch thick groove, so there's almost no room. And so I went through every type of home or industrial shop tool you could get to possibly make a groove, omitting the only one that would really work. At this point in my life, I have no explanation why I was so stupid in this area because I've been around tools and things in the shop most of my life, and I don't have any explanation for it. It's like you see those stories where they have crop circles or animals that were strangely mutilated. Maybe aliens just did something to me, and I couldn't think about anything related to shop and manufacturing things normally because I went through every type of tool you could possibly maybe make a groove in the end of a 6-inch Schedule 80 pipe, but I didn't use the right one. So I tried a wood lathe in my apartment. I put off a part of the apartment with blankets and towels and sheets. So I made it so the dust wouldn't go in the urethra room, and I had a respirator, and the wood lathe was on the floor because there was no table, and I'm making it, and it's flying off past my head, and I couldn't get the end of the pipe smooth enough so I could put the groove. And then I was thinking, well, what if instead of horizontally or vertically? What if I do like a mill? I can't afford a mill. I could buy a drill press and then put the pipe in there and then depress the lever of the drill press that's over there behind the lazy boy, 12-inch Ryobi. I could smooth out the edge and then I could make a groove. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll try that. So I ordered one. And and this has to work because I'm running out of money. I'm not really running out of money, but I'm running out of the money I wanted to spend. And I'm living in the apartment and I'm cutting the pieces of pipe at my sister's house. And when I go to the plumbing supply house to get the pieces of pipe, I'm using my Toyota Corolla to transport them. I open up the trunk and put down the seat and slide them through after I cut them in pieces. And the plumbers there are losing their mind because they can't believe I'm buying 20-foot sections of pipe and cutting it into little pieces. Until I told one of them how much I was getting for one. This was at a later date once I figured out how to make it. But so now I decided to order a drill press. It wasn't Harbor Freight, but it was somewhere on the line with a Ryobi. And the manager of the apartment was a nice guy. He was in Chile. I never met anybody from Chile I didn't like. But the owner, he was a landlord, and he was a young guy, and he was on Miami Beach, and he was very, very landlordy, very, very landlordy, extremely, extremely landlordy. And if he found out I was manufacturing underwater video cameras in his apartment, I don't think he would have appreciated my grit. So I've ordered, and I knew what days of the week that manager usually isn't there. So I got it scheduled to come on the day that the manager is not usually there. And I'm outside waiting, and I know they're coming. And sure enough, it's getting time for the truck to come. The owner of the apartment comes, and he's looking around, and I'm outside, and he's looking around, and I see the UPS truck pull up. And he's looking over now, and he's walking over toward me. And I said, oh, crap, he's going to want to go in my apartment. And also, they're bringing the freaking drill press. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Say, God, why can't you give me a break? Why can't you give me a break? I don't need much. I'm trying to make a living. I'm trying to build something. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to swim barely. I'm making underwater video camera housings. I said, I need a break. So he's walking over toward me, and I heard this girl say something, and he turns around, and I look over. This cute, cute, gorgeous young Puerto Rican girl. She had like a halter top on with no bra and the short shorts, and she wasn't too tall. He wasn't too tall either. But it was like he's saying stuff to her, she stands up to him, and he's asking what her name is, and she's sort of smiling, and she's asking what his name is, and now it's like the guy on the UPS truck goes to the back, and he opens up the back, and you hear the stuff. The landlord doesn't hear a thing. He gets his dolly, doesn't hear a thing. Now he brings out this huge box with the 12-inch Ryobi, and he goes down the ramp. Now he's walking right behind the landlord. Landlord doesn't use his peripheral vision. His peripheral vision is gone. Oh, I said, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. And I was hearing that tune from the Rolling Stones. That do 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 do. There's some Puerto Rican girls just dying to meet you. We both got the drill press up into the apartment, up the steps, and he left. I shut the door. I didn't see the landlord for a couple of months. The drill press, it never did work out. It's you. Here's the funny thing: you want to use a router if you're trying to smooth off something that's not level, and you want to use a router if you're wanting to make a groove in the end of a well casing or a water pipe. You want to use a router.
You're going to line up your box with your router table. This is a 1/2 inch router bit flat, and I've made marks on my router table, and this says the front. So you're going to put your box on, and when you have everything lined up and you put your housing inside, if your housing is a little bit longer and uneven, as you turn this, it's going to knock off the uneven parts until eventually everything's smooth.
I have no idea, no explanation. I think aliens must have abducted me for a while and my mind was just gone because router did not occur to me, and I have no explanation why. It's a mystery, but it's almost like a mystery how that Puerto Rican girl showed up in that 3-second window to save me in my business of making the Nemo 200 underwater video camera housing until GoPro came out. Damn GoPro. So guys, that's my story. And I say Puerto Rican girl because of her accent and the way she looked and talked, and but she could have been from some other place. But to me, she's always been the really cute Puerto Rican girl that saved my Nemo 200 business. So Ryobi didn't help at all. Damn Ryobi. So guys, if you like this story, I might be having some more. And yeah, I might be having some more. Take care. See you out there. And then began a long dance of disappointment.